Good afternoon, everyone. This is Karl F. Rose recording live from Bedford, Pennsylvania on Sunday, uh, August 14th, 2022. And I want to kind of switch things up a little bit with with all the dreary news and the FBI raid and all that. I decided to watch some highlights of some of the NFL preseason games for for preseason week one for the upcoming 2022 season. Um, I'm not going to be focusing on any particular team or anything, but I will focus really mainly on Matthew Stafford, the Rams. I will focus a little bit on the Lions and the Giants, and that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about a little bit of what I've seen from week one from both of those teams. I won't be doing weekly podcast on sports games every Monday or anything like that, like I used to. I will just, as things come up and or injuries or news or whatever on any team, doesn't matter. If there's something big in the NFL, I'll do a podcast on that. I won't be really focusing on any particular thing, as I said a second ago. Anyway, there's two games in particular because I do like the New York Giants and I follow the Detroit Lions. Let's start with the Lions. Even though they lost at the last second, it was just if it weren't for just a careless fumble, the Lions would have won the game. But that's just how it goes. Hopefully that's, and you got to remember these were all the backup people too. So, but for the most part, I was pretty impressed with the way the Lions played offensively. Defensively, though, I think they're still going to have some holes, with the exception of the starting. It looks like some of their rookies on their defensive line are going to be pretty good. So it looks like their defensive line is going to be much more improved, which is good. But it looks like they're still going to have weaknesses in the secondary and that sort of thing. So kind of what I expect from the Lions is they're going to be playing, especially with Jared Goff as their quarterback. I'm looking at them probably they're going to win more than 3 games than last year, but I don't think they're going to be a playoff contender. I think they'll be in the running for a while, and I think one of the things ESPN or CBS or one of the networks said basically the same thing, that they'll probably be in contention for a playoff spot. Up to maybe a little bit after the Thanksgiving game, but at the end of the near the end of the season, they will probably tail off and not make it in the playoffs. My figuring is they've won only 3 games last year. I'm figuring at the very least, if I figure at the minimum, if they go 6-10, I'm actually think they'll do better than that. But I'm saying the worst case scenario, probably 6-10. But I think with the way the new coaching scheme is going, I'm thinking more of around a 8-8 season, that sort of thing. Now, maybe things will go better, and if they, and the way the division is, if they get to 9-7, 9-7 could actually win that division. So But it'll be one of those things where the team that wins the division goes to the playoffs, but the rest of the division won't make it because of tiebreakers and the records and that sort of thing. So if they go 9-7, which I'm not really hopeful on that. But if they do, they could probably win the division and end up in the playoffs, probably in a wild card game, and who knows what. But again, this is the second year into this new management system, and it looks pretty good. I've been yelling about that for about 30 or 40 years that they needed a rearrangement at the top, or at the top of the organization. And when Martha Ford handed over the reins to her daughter, Sheila Ford Hemp, it looks like it was a wise decision. So, but injuries and everything like that will play into it. So, who knows? But I'm thinking they're going to win more than 3 games, and I'm figuring about it, like I said, about 8-8. And now let's switch over to one thing, their running game. I expect to see a much improved running game from the Lions, and if their offensive line is as good as what it looks like it will be, I expect. And I think the Lions the organization is expecting a lot more out of Jared Goff too. So they've built what the Lions have done. They have what they have done for Jared Goff, they never did for Matthew Stafford, or Calvin Johnson for that matter. They thought that they could win with just Stafford and Johnson, and it seemed like they didn't care about the rest of the team. Well, it takes all positions. You need to have all parts of the machine working for it to work right, and the Lions in the past were trying to just do everything with 1 or 2 good pieces, and the rest of the operation broken, and that's a key for a disaster. So they're heading in the right way. I would be excited if they got in the playoffs, but I'm not expecting that. But 8-8 is not too far out of reach for them, and but they will. They're going to be a team that's you're going to have to. They're going to be a team to not just lie down to, because otherwise they'll just take advantage of it. And that's looks like how they're going to play. Now to the Giants, and it's ironic, but I think that the Lions and the Giants, they both have kind of a similar style of both offense and defense. And again, what killed the Giants is they didn't have a good running game. But from what I saw from the Giants preseason, from the highlights that I saw, it looks like they're finally gonna. It looks like that their offensive line is beefed up, and Barkley is going to probably have he's going to finally have a breakout year. He's been suffering with injuries and just not a very good line, and so he hasn't really played up to his potential. But again, it goes to the not having all the parts there. When you don't have a good offensive line, you're not going to be able to run very good. You're not going to be able to pass very good, and you just won't be a very good team. Period. That's just how it works, and that's been the case for the Giants as well. It's amazing that Peyton Manning was able to do, not Peyton, but Eli Manning was able to do what he was doing, because he never really had that great of an offensive line, and yet he managed to somehow have a pretty good career with not a very good offensive line. So a lot of credit goes to him. unfortunately, it just made his statistics look bad and made him look like not a very good quarterback. But we'll have to see. I don't really follow the Giants as in depth as I do with the Lions, but it looks like if their running game picks up, it looks like that'll help their passing game. And again, they're going to probably be scoring a lot of points. And it's the question mark for them is going to be the defense. Is their defense going to hold up? That sort of thing. So, and I'm expecting a better season from them too, and I'm going to give them about the same thing, probably 8-8. And if they do go 9-7, they could actually, because every team in that division is battling, so they're going to have a lot of losses because they're going to split a lot of their with their division rivals. They're going to have a lot of splits. So each team's going to have quite a few losses. So actually, again, a 9-7 record. If the Giants can achieve that, that could actually probably win the division and probably put them in a wild card game. So we'll just have to wait and see. And like I said about the Lions, same thing. Injuries will play a big role, so they just need to stay healthy. And let's just, as far as I'm concerned, let's just hope to see both of these teams do a little bit better, and that's the best. The best we can do. That's only week 1, so we'll see what happens next week and probably get a little more insight into what both teams are doing. So anyway, well, talk to you later and have a good day.